What's up, guys? I'm gonna get underway here. See if I can get set up. As you can see here, Summer Major, Expert Division weekend round here. For all of you who may be interested in some weekend round shots. Free to use, free to share, free to tweak. We're going to get underway here momentarily. I'm trying to bring up the chat right now. Second device. I'm going to wait a couple minutes, see if we can get some people in here. Didn't, schedule or plan this stream, so maybe some people want to come. What's up, Brian? What's up, Joe? Thanks for the wishes. I'm gonna probably need it. Let's just see how things pan out. I think last round is somewhat fresh on my mind, so I think we can maybe make some tweaks with some new wind directions here and try to hopefully get a couple more things to drop. I definitely felt some good momentum at the end of my opening round there. The back nine went pretty solid. Hopefully we can kind of build off of that and just try to improve from that round and kind of let that carry over into this one. I see some fresh faces joining in. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm up to date with the chat and everything. Wanted to just let you guys know, right off the beginning, I know I've pitched, some of this before in some of my other streams, but Ultimate Golf, they are making a push to get brand new players over there. I do have this, guide app for over there as well for helping you guys with ring adjustments, especially with early clubs. But if you guys want to check out the description in the video, there's an exclusive promotion code that you can use. And I also have a link to another video, which it basically explains the promotion. But basically, if you're a new player over there, less than a week, 5 days, and you want to just check out their game, they're basically just giving you a bunch of clubs, bunch of balls, some starter cash, and you can just kind of get off the ground and running. So for instance, you don't even tee off and you almost have, a full set of clubs, that type of thing. So they are creating a way for you to kind of get off the ground. I'm happy that they, provided me that. It would be the equivalent of, most guys are getting the Outlaw driver, which is like equivalent to Extra Mile. So, consider you're probably going to have an Extra Mile too before you even start off over there. So it just gives you a little bit of perspective as the promo package deal that they're, providing for you guys just to get off the ground and running. And of course, this is my ring app for over there, Guide for Ultimate Golf. Free to use, set up your bags, set up very similar to Notebook. So if you've used Notebook, you pretty much know how to use Guide for Ultimate Golf. We did, expand on some features. There's definitely some new and innovative stuff that we did over there, especially with grids and whatnot. You can see the grid that I created here. I used that grid app to design a lot of that stuff. Very user-friendly. There's some good videos for you. So for instance, here's a Guide for Ultimate Golf. Right at the top here at the guide section, this is kind of like a community hub. You can see it's even above the ring calculator. This is the video that I was linking you guys to, the free promo giveaway. I set this one up, a couple days ago, kind of tried to get as much attention to it as possible just to, get guys the opportunity to have free stuff. For basically just for starting the game over there or just checking it out. But there's a lot of, rookie level intro basically tutorials here that are clickable. They go straight to YouTube. Of course, I have a separate channel over there. I try to divide the comments. So down in the help section, for example, you can see my channel here just with the YouTube button, and it links directly to my Ultimate Golf channel over there. And, you know, similar to what I did and built over here, I've spent a lot of time building content and kind of trying to help get guys off the ground over there. The developers over there doing some really cool things, custom tournaments. You're going to see some really impressive stuff coming up in the next week. They, you know, are giving me kind of a little bit of cool tournaments that I can set up. So if you do use the ZAC22 code, you are going to be able to do some pretty exclusive stuff. You know, think in the terms of exclusive balls that you can buy, exclusive tournaments that you can enter just for using that code and getting started over there. So it is really going to push the bounds on some of the creative content that you guys have probably never seen any game doing. These guys are willing to do it. So like I mentioned, worth checking out. Now that we have some, you know, a decent amount of people, gave them some time to get in over here, we're going to get started. Like I mentioned, if you guys don't mind just kind of passing along the info, I would appreciate it. At the same time, it kind of benefits me long term as well. And plus, I'm trying to get them, you know, set up with a foundation. Great group of team over there working on that game. They're doing a lot of really cool stuff. So definitely check that out if you can. And, you know, at the very least, if you guys don't mind just kind of spreading the word, I'd definitely appreciate that. But let's get underway here. We're going to go into the Summer Major, hole 1. So let's just jump in, see some holes. Hopefully we make some eagles. That's kind of the goal. Maybe even a couple albas. I have yet to make an alba on this setup, so let's change that today. Let's make multiples today. So, you know, I want to see what some of these wins are offering. I haven't seen any posting of what the weekend rounds even look like yet. But the course is kind of fresh on my mind from the opener round. So hopefully we can do some cool stuff. So let's get our bag kind of the way that we want to use most shots. I'm not going to use the ring app for this shot. I've been using pretty close to 1-to-1. I'm going to kind of stick to that. You're also going to see that I utilize a lot of side spin here. I'm going to kind of change my method for this tailwind. I wasn't really happy with the way that I played this on the back in the opener. So I'm going to kind of do it like this with some tilt and maybe just take off some of the spin. I'd really like to maybe give this a little bit better run than I've been doing. So I think bringing it in with a little bit more control could be the key. Now I'm going to under adjust a little bit of what I've done on some of the other ones. That's maybe 8.5, 8.6. Of course, we grab the perfect ball. Let's just see how this plays out. Just probably a little light, but speed-wise, that's actually a very good shot. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. Just out to the left of the hole, so that, you know, especially if you do have the APOC 8 and you're an expert, I think you could benefit from that and just make a slight mod. Keep in mind that I did do a 9-1 win there. That's probably, we're talking on the high end of anything they could have given me. So with that being said, maybe 0.2, 0.3 more topspin, especially if your number's a little bit lower. But also maybe even, so if I was, you know, pretty 12 o'clock there, maybe what I would recommend would be maybe just shift slightly to adjust a little bit more right, which I think is 11:59 in that situation. And that way you don't lose that length, because the length looked good. It's just kind of a little bit too much out to the left. So the way that I would do, like the way that I would personally try to tweak that is maybe kind of keep the same depth, but I just want to adjust more right. So, and like I was mentioning, I believe it's 11:59 in that situation. That's kind of what I would do, is I would just kind of try to adjust just a tiny bit more right, kind of keep that same. I like kind of falling back off the top spin if you can, just to have a little bit more control. As you can see, we could definitely get relatively aggressive there. It'd be a great stroke to pick up. Like if you can actually get that ace, man, that starts you off in a really good way. But thanks guys for showing up, and hopefully we can get some good drops. If you guys saw the way that I played the last time, let's just do something similar. So I hope you guys don't mind sticking it out for me a little bit. Of course, I did some of the practice. And I'm thinking about taking a pretty similar strategy, because I was, especially on the back nine, I did some practice. I was able to get this one with just one iteration, one correction. And I think I could do the same thing, you know, with a couple of these, provided that we do hit the perfect ball. But one thing that I did want to just reach out to you guys, let you guys know, I meant to maybe mention this. The reason I hopped on here today, I don't think I'll be around next week. I think, you know, towards the end of the week, I got a lot of personal stuff going on. On top, there might be a Ultimate Golf special event that I might need to prepare for. And like I said, you know, that directly involves guys that use that ZAC22 code. So with that being said, plus, you know, my schedule next week, I don't think I'll be around. So wanted to pop one here and just kind of give you guys some content. And hopefully you guys can benefit from it. Even if you're in my bracket, just go ahead and beat my score. It's all cool. So I'm going to play this similar to the way, if you guys were checking out my opener or my qualifier, there's a specific starting point I've been using. I'm going to do something very similar. Of course, we've been using this tool. I'm thinking, oh wow, look at that. That's a precision, but I love these balls. I really do. So like these to me are probably some of the better ones that they created. That was over adjustment though. Man, that almost landed in the bunker. We got to avoid that. I think this is very similar to how I got this one. So let's try some of this, some of the offset 11-4. And then, of course, you know, that spot that I've been kind of picking underneath these leaves, I just use it as kind of like a starting point with some offset. Let's try that much offset. You can see kind of the way that it looks. 2 backspin, 11-4. Let's just give it a go, see what it looks like. This might be too much backspin. Hopefully not. This is a much better win than the one that I actually made last round. The biggest reason why, as you can see, we're not adjusting through that bush, and that made that adjustment not very fun to do. Oh no! I wanted to at least see this roll out, but I think I know enough about this club to be able to make a slight mod. Oh, I made it with great ball. I didn't want to make it with great ball. That means I probably gotta tweak something. I would have really liked to have not hit the practice button there, but of course I did. That would have been a great moment to just mentally make a mistake and just have hit the play button. That would have been the perfect time to do that. So let's think about what mod we want to do. Of course, I don't want to intentionally hit that great ball. It did feel a little forced. I'm going to try to maybe just tweak my ball guide just a touch, and maybe my ring pull. I get the feeling that that was a cool shot and all, but it's like I get the feeling that it's probably going to cost me, and I'm not going to make it twice in a row. I feel like I was not. I would have rather that burnt the edge. Oh, another one of these. So both times, guys played with this perfect ball. We're gonna try to just kind of mod the ball guide more than anything. I feel pretty good about this being a nice adjustment. So 11.6 this time. Just going to come in just a little bit more on the ball guide. And maybe even more than that. Let's just give this a whirl, see what it looks like. 11.6. Hopefully I don't run out of time. Be very careful with my pulls here. Perfect ball. That's what we wanted to do last time. And sure enough, it's back to where my usual miss is. Left edge. I was pretty close to pure with the ball guide. It was maybe left edge of the cup. So if in case it was a little bit tough for you guys to see what I was doing there, it was very left edge of cup. So I really came in significantly. What I don't understand is why the ball is drifting to the left. If it's a right pointed wind, I feel like I should be missing this right. It's a little annoying that I'm not. So hence why that first great ball went in. It's like it did something that I really can't explain too well. But unfortunately, the practice cost us. You definitely got to hate when that happens. I don't want to practice this one. This is going to be a tough one to get no matter what. So similar to what I did the other day, we're just going to go for this. I think, both of the shots that I did, both versions, you can kind of, what I did on that last hole, you can kind of take and use for yourself. And learn, bits and pieces from both. It's kind of landing more right than I feel like it should. Now, I know in some of those situations, the reason this game causes that to happen, the ball guide stretches out. It kind of deflects more to the left than, especially when you're putting that right spin on and your ball guide stretches out, it just kind of goes a little bit more to the side. But it's doing with the way that it's pointed. I feel like it should be righter than it is. So that's the best thing to kind of take away from that. Is the ball is just kind of naturally going more left than it should be there. What's up, Jeff? Thanks for showing up. We're just kind of going through some things. Great to see some usual suspects in here. Let's hope we can maybe get one or two drops that we're not expecting. Maybe this hole, maybe the next one would kind of qualify as just something I'm not really anticipating getting, but it would be cool if we can. So we're going to try that. I like where they are. I want to make sure that I roll out at least to where they are. Of course, we got to worry about rolling out too long. So what's that? 6 bars, maybe just a hair more than 6. And then my ring adjustment, I'm thinking 6.5 here. 6, 7. Perfect ball. Looks pretty good. Let's see what the depth looks like. I think going a little bit past him's good, if I can. Because of this wind direction, that's probably a pretty good shot. Pretty good lead there. So let's see what we can do with this one. I'd like to do something similar to what he's doing. Kind of like what we were talking about the other day that we were on this. If you guys did check out that stream, we were kind of talking about mids. If we can get to kind of min sniper, I definitely think it's a good way to potentially not have to play nearly as much wind, a good chance for a drop. So the more that you can kind of force yourself towards that min value, I definitely think bringing in the hole out is a little bit more likely. That was interesting. That was like an overplay there or something because it landed very right. Great ball there could have potentially, I think, missed that fairway the way that landed. Okay, so here's the min line. This is kind of maybe a good spot for us to be. 7 rings plus some. I'm going to do 7, 2. And we're going to just try to perfect offset. You can see with how I kind of have things running. Then we're just going to do 7, 2 and just see what that looks like. Let's hope it doesn't hit that tree. Man. It's breaking my heart just rolling over the cup like that. It's a pretty good adjustment overall. Of course, if I was to go 8-6 here, what does that look like slider-wise with my adjustment? 18%. I just find, especially when you're mapping out a course, just kind of going with something and just kind of seeing what went wrong. You can kind of utilize that information and you can fix it for the next one. So thanks, Superman. Thanks for showing up. And we're gonna try to get some drops. We've been really close on everything so far. Unfortunately, just haven't been able to get it done. I like this wind direction for this hole. I just don't like this hole. But let's just pop in here, see what it looks like. What I like about this is I think, a little bit less ball guide deflection to the right or left. I like this wind direction for this one. Of course, I'm not doing the practice. I didn't do it the other day on this one. I just kind of don't like the vibe that this hole puts off. So I just kind of conserving. Of course, for those of you who might not have heard, I'm in Expert 3 this week. So Master 1, and so holding on to some of those tokens, I'm probably going to get a little bit more aggressive with like a Master, because I definitely want some of those luminaries, never had them before. So I definitely want to be able to try to take advantage of that. So kind of holding on to as much as I can and not having to burn through gems is kind of the way that I'm thinking. We are going to first establish the amount of side spin that I want. And I'm just going to try to tweak that guide by utilizing my backspin. Something like this, I'm thinking. 10.7 rings. You can see it looks really weird the way that I'm starting. Maybe I'm just going to pull back a little bit, change my starting spot. You can see that it's kind of not the greatest starting spot at max there. So I pulled back to about +7 there. instead of the plus 12 before even starting my adjustment. So just wanted to at least give a little shout out to that so you understood what was happening. And the goal is just to kind of get it to where the ball guide is doing what I want, which that is more or less what I wanted, but I just wanted it to come in just a little bit more slower than that. So just a touch more backspin probably would have been a little bit better. I wonder about going a little bit more straight approach, you know, how good this would work out for this wind specifically. This could be a very good wind to just kind of go direct. But I just haven't played it this way at all yet, so I didn't want to just try something new. Maybe would have did it with a practice token or something if I would have tried this, because I just don't I don't understand how this one's going to roll out at all. Great ball right. That kind of launched because that's very north. So you definitely got to do an overpull. Even with the great ball right, it winds up left. It's like, what is it about this hole? Like, it just doesn't. With that slope, you'd think it would be more of like a feedable, masterable. The adjustment's probably there somewhere. I feel like it's only a matter of time until somebody really starts to develop a very consistent method for that. But we're just winging it, kind of playing it a bunch of different spots. You know, I'm assuming a lot of guys are in the same boat. I mean, this is what, my 4th attempt. I'd imagine you guys are pretty similar. So, you know, maybe you've played it, if you have multiple accounts, maybe you played this hole 10 times. But just trying to figure out some shots there, and it's just a really tricky tight fairway, rollout, green, everything about that. Which one is this? Okay, I remember. Should be able to go sniper here, so we're just going to pop in here. Thanks, Wesley. Thanks for showing up. Sebastian, thanks for showing up. Appreciate seeing you guys. Hopefully, Sebastian, shout out to you. Hopefully you have a good round. Clan teammate here. That'll be cool. I'm definitely not pulling my weight. I appreciate you guys having me because I'm pretty terrible at this game. But we just kind of work through some shots, hopefully get some drops, make some stuff happen. Hopefully next week we can all kind of collaborate a little bit better and master once I get out of this expert. It's my last bout in expert, but I might pop back for some 9-holers here. I'm a little worried about how I'll do in mastered 9-holers. There's less qualification process, so I'm just worried, you know, one little mistake, you don't even get to play the weekend. But we'll give it a go, see what it looks like. Hopefully, with not having like 2 rounds of cuts, maybe it's you know, the better way is just kind of that. Those are the ones where you take advantage of master, because you can only get cut one time, which is the very first day. So you either make it through or you don't. But with only two attempts, 9 holes, one hole could ruin your entire potential. I'm going to try to stay away from this tree a little bit. So we're going to go about, what's that, 8 rings, a little bit more. Hopefully this works out the way that I'm visualizing it in my head. Not quite enough curl. You can almost go full there, it seems. But we're safe. I'm a little worried distance-wise. Not going to be the easiest shot. You probably want to be a little bit longer than that. You can even see my opponent here with the Cataclysm. If you're a little bit shorter with the tee shot, it's probably a little bit smarter for me to bring Cataclysm. Wesley, I think the answer to that is probably yes. I think they added some really good elements, like different wins at, like, I mean, this is stuff that, you know, groups of guys asked for, you know, 3 years on deaf ears. Like, they just, you know, weren't really valuing some of this. And what I like about this whole structure is you don't get bored of doing the same, like, because that's the primary reason that I left to begin with. Is I don't want to do this, you know, the same wins, same tournaments, week in, week out. It's no fun for me. So we're gonna, for this one, do a little bit of an overplay method towards the max line. Maybe not. Yeah. Still do overplay. I'm going to just tilt my spin just a little bit, though. So +8, I'm going to use the max number, +40%, and just kind of see what this looks like. Ballpark it. Got to get moving. I have to do it on single pass. Didn't want to have to release like that, but we pulled it off. Coming in nice, just a little bit fast, and maybe just slightly overpull there. So I think I was pretty true to 12.6. It's probably just a little bit heavy, but I would have liked to have brought it in just a touch less speed, so it would have took more break. So a little bit of both. I would have liked to have just had just a little bit less influence from. Maybe, you know, 0.2 less rings and just a hair more backspin. Since you can see that it stretched out, probably because the target moved to higher ground and whatnot. Well, 6 here, a little bit of a tailwind. Yeah, let's just let me think about this actually. Let me I'm not sure what I want to do here. Let's just jump in, see what it looks like. Yeah, I did all right. I feel like this game and a lot of games, it's more about repetition than it is actually, you know, necessarily. Like, so right now, I only have one account. If I had 4 accounts and I was doing 4 different shots, I feel obviously on all of these, I'd be burning the edge on every, because all I need is that 3 or 4 looks. I just don't want to burn through my practice tokens right now. I was just kind of hoping that we could, you know, maybe just work through things logically and get something to fall. And, you know, worst case scenario, I'm just kind of shooting for top 50, get some of my King Slayers, King Makers converted to King Slayers, that type thing. I'd like to kind of, once Master hits, try to maybe elevate my time or rehearsals up there, just for the Luminaries and King Slayers. A little bit more desirable prize format for me. So I think I'm going to play it that way as well. Should have watched what he did, though, because I really don't know. I want to be a little careful. I'm going to do kind of close to a spot adjustment, thinking 6.5 rings with some curl back. Kind of just straighten this line out if I can. Perfect ball. The only thing I'm worried about is the run out. When this is only your... Yeah. That is close. So a little bit, almost, you almost have to underplay your ring slightly. Because I think that should have been, what was that, 7.3 or something? I feel like 6.5 is, yeah. Well, I went what normal max is. It seems a little bit heavy because, which is weird. I didn't expect that to be the case. I didn't use that much curl. It wasn't even 1 bar's worth of side spin. So I wouldn't expect it to be hugging that bunker like it was. So it almost seems like it is very flat, or maybe even a minus 5% for some on that one. It's only my, what, like 3rd time playing that shot total. So with that being said, you know, you just want to try to do what you can sometimes and make sure that you don't do anything unforced. I try to bump this with curl or something. I like the look of this shot. I don't know how it's going to work out. It seems pretty flat. This probably is not that smart of a shot with cat. Oh well, we're doing it. I'm going to go just a hair under 7. That was about 2, maybe 2.25. You can see that's probably almost halfway, half curl there. It's still just a little bit light. If anything, the ring adjustment was probably spot max. So if I went just a hair under 7, probably 7 is probably the safe side. The only thing I was worried about is great ball being in the bunker or fairway. Because you can see the cat target was 1 ring, was really all the rough that you had there. But a little bit longer drive, sniper, you can do that. And you could probably just try to curl just a little bit more than me. Could maybe work out. I could see that being a pretty go-to shot, especially if you have like, you know, the amount that you're curled very dialed. I think that could be a nice looking shot. It comes in very controlled. Just a little bit dangerous with Cataclysm. Probably not highly recommended there. I was fearing this wind. I'm wondering when it was going to pop up. I didn't want to ever see it. We're definitely going to go in and practice. We're going to play this very similar to the way that I've been, way out to the left. I've had some good success with that. We're going to do the same thing on a wind like this. This wind looks a little bit more desirable to me than 1030 would. So I guess I should be happy it's, you know, that they just did like a 12 o'clock, maybe 12:30, because it's probably a little bit easier than 10:30. I was wondering what would happen when that pops up, because it's going to kind of go away from the way that I've been playing this shot. It would like counteract that a little bit too much. But we're going to try. We're going to try this one. I think I did the practice. I can't remember. Yeah, I didn't switch my bag, so I got to remember to switch my bag. I'm thinking plus 15, plus 20, somewhere in there. Let's just give it a whirl. See what it looks like. And they did give me some very interesting replays on this one. This is the only hole that I've been playing, guys. I feel that, and it was like this the other day. They're using cat and tighten. It's like the only time that they'll give me somebody that is actually using a normal ball for my entire round. We are practicing this one, Brian. So Well, assuming that I hit the practice button, I'm 90% sure I did, but I could see myself doing a mistake. The biggest reason I did kind of touch on a couple times is I just want to kind of save them for master rounds. That's where I consider to be good prizes. So I'm just trying to kind of just bide my time a little bit. And then I'm going to utilize a lot more of those in the master stuff because I want to try to elevate my positions, you know, and maybe give myself a chance to win those. This wind is not that bad. This could be a lot worse. So I'm actually kind of happy that it's like this. This is saying, what, 9.3? Of course, I don't even know this is right, but I just want to, you know, use this for my adjustment, and we'll just go from there. If it's wrong, we'll just try to fix it next time. Hence why we're practicing. So let's give this a whirl. Perfect ball. I don't even know if it's in the rough, but I'm hoping it does. That looks actually really good. I'm actually really happy with that land zone. It's just left. So a couple things we can do. We're either going to start a little bit more right, which I think I'm going to do. The other thing that I could do is I could just start pulling my rings at more, what is that, 1201, I believe. Oh, no, 1159 for that wind. Wait, I missed left, right? 1201. A little bit more inside. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to start. I'm going to use the same ring pull, but I'm just going to, I'll do the same thing, but I'll just set up. It seemed like almost a grid inside. Oh, this will be a good one. I think this is the first time I'm using Endbringer, and I have the challenge for this. Let me pop out here. It should have been a practice. We'll try to get this on the next one. But I had something I needed to complete for that, and that's my first Endbringer shot. See what the next one is. Thor's Hammer. I could do that. We can even do that in the tournament. Why not? I'll find a good spot for that. Maybe 8. Let's just see what 8 looks like. It could be a good one. Okay, so I think I have an idea of what I'm doing. I'm going to keep this pretty similar. If anything, maybe it landed a little short, just a touch. So if anything, this is overpull by maybe 0.1 rings or something. So we'll keep that in mind. I want to try to get this one. This has definitely been one of my better holes. Same with 2. I definitely wanted to get that one. 3 I've been playing pretty well too. Seven, 7, small wind. 9 rings straight up is what I'm going to go. 1 less beyond max. And so let's see. I'm going to do maybe just a hair more backspin than, what is that, 5 bars or something? Something to the effect of this. Well, that sucked. It landed much longer. It did the same thing. So it's still left, but it landed much longer for some reason. I'm thinking it has to do with instead of it being down in the dip of the bunker, whatever that wind angle was, it was like the very top end of the bunker. So I think that contributed to that ball launching. But it did the same thing. So both times well out to the left. I was hoping that this was going to behave a little bit more holdable for me. I think you got to be careful going over here just because you can see it's more narrow. And I think the same kind of thing applies. Let's say different wind directions, different wind speeds. You don't want to make... so you can see there's the grass. You probably don't want to confuse shots that are going to be up on that grass and then down in the bunker, because it's probably going to influence the way that you adjust a little bit more. The differences between the two is going to make the shot do more or less what mine did, which was launch on that second one, and then the first one was much shorter. The updates are pretty good for this. Hey, what's up, Ken? How's it going? Haven't seen you in forever. Hopefully things are well with you. Another guy who contributed a lot to Golf Clash Notebook and organizing things. So thanks for that and everything. I hope you're doing well. The updates that I like, I think the practice format's good. It definitely gives me the ability to, play one account. I think if I played a little bit more seriously, of course, you can see I've been accumulating the gems. I've been accumulating the practice tokens, keeping it kind of high. So I'm hoping to use that to my advantage sometime in the near future, hopefully for master events. More specifically, the way that I kind of hope to do things is to kind of use it on 1, use it on 2, use it on 3. Once I get a momentum, that type of thing, then really grind out that setting, because I'll have a chance to win. So if I put myself in a position to win, I want to kind of capitalize on that situation. Otherwise, I'll probably just let it burn and just say, yep, oh well, I lost another tournament. No big deal. Yep, same here. Haven't been playing, but just recently came back and just getting back into it. What is this, about 10 weeks now, or 8 weeks or something? I'm an expert 3. This is the only account that I'm playing. My streams, I'd say I've been maybe 1 a week or something. Just kind of scratching the surface, so to speak. And it's been more just fun, just kind of casual, more so than anything. That's cool that you build up a nice ball library. I'm a little lacking on my balls, I would say. Because even when I was kind of phasing out, I stopped playing tournaments. Like it was way too boring. I cannot sit here and just do this on 2 accounts, 3 accounts, 4 accounts, week in, week out. So kudos to you guys that actually have the patience for all that. I don't like playing the same setup. So this new format is a little bit more appealing for me. It's something that I feel like we asked for so long. It's unfortunate, that it came so late and, I was already gone and whatnot. But it is what it is, I guess. Let's jump up. I'm going to go about 9 rings plus some curl here, I'm thinking. The question I don't know is if I can go max overpower here. So we're going to take off some. Ugh. Would have been nice to get that to that Fairway. All things considered, that's not too bad. Been playing about, especially this close, I would say plus 40% on my Embringer. And I didn't even see what it was. I'm usually out of the loop. I don't like focus on what the next thing is. I just we do it on the fly. So a lot of times when I'm streaming, maybe I saw it one time in qualifying, but this is a perfect example. I didn't even know I didn't even know what the wind directions were when I started this round. So I know guys usually get around to posting that, but you know I didn't even bother. It's really not a big deal. I'm not too worried about what the winds are. We're just going in and hopefully making some stuff. Unfortunately, you know, it's not going so well in this round, but maybe it'll be like last time and we'll just get on a heater right here at the end. This is exactly how the other, I think I even finished 13 because I didn't make this one, which I thought was ridiculous the other day that I was not able to get this one. I thought that the win that I played it on was such a freebie. It's like, how could you not give me that shot? Great ball left. I think we'll be okay. We are. So 14, it's better than we started last time. And we might still be 15. I have done 9 pretty well, so I wouldn't count me out yet. And I think we could definitely improve 2-3 strokes easily on the back. So let's just see what we can do. This is another really desirable wind. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use that ball that we used the other day. I'm going to do it very similar because I don't mind wasting this bunny ball that I have. It's such a ball that you don't really have a lot of use for. So I might as well, especially on something that's going to be, this is going to have very minimal secondary effect. You just kind of point at the hole and shoot on your approach. That's a very nice wind direction. So let's jump in and, you know, maybe we get to 15 here. Hit the sniper, 0%, sounds good. I definitely like the looks of this. You get your perfect ball. You use a decent ball to get, you know, if you can keep some length and not stay at max sniper because you didn't get the ball out there far enough, I think this is going to be a good opportunity. Really easy wind direction. It's going to kind of point and shoot a little bit. Maybe about 80% curl here. A little early, but I think with the over curl will be good. And I'm wrong. We're not good. I should have backed off that just slightly. My gut tells me I kind of played myself out of this shot, but there's a chance that full Nirvana might still get there, especially with a small wind. I'm not 100% sure. I would imagine being a little bit too long might not be the end of the world. Of course, I didn't know how much it was going to roll out. I just thought I was good because it's wind straight in the face. But also, I didn't expect, 2 bars off the right there. Might have just rolled in the bunker anyway. So I needed to back off just a touch on that power. like I was mentioning, I thought we would definitely still have a chance here. Now I kind of wish that I had a side spin ball, though. Let's just give this, hopefully get the perfect ball, and, you know, I definitely think I can still make this. It's not that bad. Just a little ball guide to the right here, as you can see. We're going to play this pretty aggressive because I want the opportunity to potentially make this. I'm thinking at least 5-3, maybe a little heavy. Ah! So I know this is going to be out to the left. Perfect ball. Who knows? Maybe we had it. It was definitely going to be close. Because you can see that's pretty good one ring Nirvana left ball. I have a tendency to jump on some of those rough shots, especially in these lower tournaments. What is this, like Tour 9 or Tour 8 needle speed or something? So since I have the tendency to jump the gun, I kind of delayed, and I was a little bit slow with my timing. Because I knew that I couldn't great ball right it without clipping the rough, and like I mentioned, I do it so adamantly, unless we're playing like Tour 12 or something, then I'm usually like perfect. So I have like a natural Tour 12 type great timing to where I'm a little bit better at not jumping the gun on the faster needle. But 9 holes in, like I mentioned, we're better than our opener, so you never know. And I definitely think there's a lot of potential, especially once we get into the flow of things. I think that kind of happened to me last time. I got into the flow of things and was just able to relax and drop some more shots on the back. So let's go for that. Hopefully we can get some things rolling, see what the winds look like. The only thing I don't want to see on this one is like straight in the face on 10. I was not a huge fan of that the other day. So we can avoid that. That'd be great. Another tailwind. Interesting. We're going to play this really similar to the front, I would say. Did I grab that Thor hammer one? Yeah, it looks like I did. So we got that out of the way. We're going to play this similar to the last wind. I'd say 10 and 1 are very similar. Who knows? Maybe you can grab this one. So a good opportunity. I definitely think we can get hole 11. Of course, for those of you that were in, we did get hole 2, but it was on the practice. and then we missed it when we went to shoot it. So we're going to probably do the same type approach. I think 2 and 7 are definitely my best looks. And realistically, even 9. I just think 9 is such a waste of time to utilize a practice token for. So we didn't use it. Well, let's just jump in here, see if we can't get something going. Oh, and like I was mentioning, since there's a lot of new faces in here, if you guys do get the chance, check out the description for the Ultimate Golf promotion that they're giving away. If you guys wouldn't mind, it's like some free equipment, free balls and whatnot that you can basically get just for downloading the game over there. I did put together, a whole tutorial on that. And if you do rewind this stream and kind of see some of the stuff that I talked about before we get started, they are doing some really great stuff over on that game and definitely in the upcoming months. So it would be cool to see some faces over there. Of course, I do have a ring app for over there. So getting you squared away for ring adjustment and whatnot, definitely a possibility. I tried to make it to where you can jump over and not have to worry about not knowing what you're doing, because it is a completely different system, but it is still ring based. So, and the Golf Clash players, they do make the best ultimate golf players. They can transition well. It just takes a little bit more patience to get off the ground. That's all. But we're going to point this ball guide just a little bit more to the left. We got our perfect. Let's see what this looks like. Can't be that bad. Ah, too much to the right. So I kind of tried to overcompensate. With the other wind, I was to the left, so I tried to do something that would force it to the right more, and I didn't do it enough. Ian, I'm assuming you're trying to set up a grid similar to what I'm doing. Is that what you're trying to do? Like with the everything that I have on the screen? There is a good starter tutorial that I built. So let me just hop over just real quick, just to kind of, assuming that this is what he's asking. So this is the Guide for Ultimate Golf app, free to download. The guide section at the top. There's something specific in here that should say something, setting up a new tablet, something to that effect. Of course, it's on my channel. It is filtered towards new players, stuff like that. But I'm just trying to find it for you right here. Best Android tablets to use and how to get started. This is the best video 15 days ago. If you scroll down to that, it's launchable on YouTube. It'll really get you squared away, setting up the grid over here. Of course, you know, you can copy grids. It's very fast to set up, you know, grids the way that I have it on my screen, and utilize the app for that. And it's very user friendly. And that one for Android tablets is probably your best starting point. Like I mentioned, I teach the game over there. Maybe even, you know, a lot more. I definitely put out a lot of content to get guys able to transition and to even play concurrently. You know, as you can see, I've been doing both. I enjoy what the developers are doing better over on that game compared to here. And that way it doesn't have just like this, you know, weekend pump and dump tournament. You know, it's definitely some new and innovative things. And kind of like what I talked about on the front end of the screen, you know, there's a lot of new faces in here. On the front end of the stream, I kind of told these guys, but in terms of exclusivity for tournaments, if you guys start a fresh account over there, use that promo code ZAC22, which is in the description. It is eventually going to get you exclusive tournaments, exclusive balls that you can buy. And, you know, be able to have certain things that are like customizable to where we can basically set up for everybody that wants to come and play, like, you know, just a fixed win tournament. They want to play with these clubs. One of the tournaments that we're doing over there, in the very near future is basically going to be, we're going to give you all the max clubs, and you just get to play with them for that one tournament. So you get to test out all the max stuff and play with it just for that one tournament. So that's going to be coming up around the corner. So a definite real cool thing that the developers are doing over there, and just letting you kind of just get a good idea of, you know, how the ball guide is a little bit different over there, that type of stuff. So long term should be really cool stuff happening, worth checking out. So if you guys are interested, definitely try to take advantage of that. Now this is a close win to what we had last time. The biggest thing I want to do is get this off. I might even go... That was probably 12-3, 12-4. A little over pull. Don't go in again. That's the only thing I don't want. So just please don't go in. I don't want to make this twice on practice and then miss it on the real shot. So since I was talking a little bit too much there, kind of during my process, I'm not 100% sure what my original offset looked like. So I do want to just pop in and just go to that portal real quick if you guys don't mind. I know I was to the right. It definitely came through hot, so I'm going to try to increase my backspin a little bit. I think I was almost a grid. I do want to just pop in and just see it. Of course, we overpulled for sure, which means that I probably needed a little bit more offset. Very similar spot that I've been using right there. That looks good. I know I adjusted this a couple different times. I even probably did it one more time. Yep. That's not even a grid. Okay. So I think I understand why I missed to the left there. That was probably not the offset I was going for. Let me see how much I missed by real quick. Was it one full? Probably about 0.6 or something light. I think if anything, I just kind of visually saw that spot wrong. And what was this, 10% or 20%? 20% there. Of course, I made a win very similar to this in the opener. So I was definitely hoping to grab it. That'd be the shot to watch, is the opener shot. It's almost like 2 straight rounds with one same wind. I'll tell you the reason that they probably implemented that wind again is because it's so hard to count through those bushes. So they just put it out there multiple times. These back nines are the same as the opening. Is that always the case? Is that the way that it works? Or is it just a couple similars? Surprised this wind angle here didn't work out a little bit better for me on that last go. With the plus 20%, it almost seems like I adjusted more than I did the other day. Just weird that it was still so far to the left. Let's just take a look. We're gonna just try to do some slight adjustment. This is a much better camera view, of course. I think this is a much better spot. It's almost like the last time I wasn't in this spot. Maybe I was here. Let's try something a little bit more like this. At least 11. 11-1. Maybe I should overpull just slightly again. I'm going to have to do this not the way that I wanted. I didn't want to release here, but we still got our perfect. I didn't want to have to quick release that. Looks still left. Is it left? No, it's right. Come on. Brutal. So we gave it a very good run. I think bad luck more than anything. So it's definitely not going the way that I wanted it to. We've been close with a lot of misses. Lots and lots of misses. This is another pretty respectable wind angle that I'd like to take advantage of. So let's see if we can't get this one. It's going to create pretty much straight tailwind. I don't think we've had that for this hole yet. I don't remember having anything that was almost straight tailwind into the green. It's an interesting wind. I like the straight winds because I feel like they give you a little bit better chance to not have to worry about that a little bit right, a little bit left wind effect, and it gives you that much more likely that you can just play the natural, short or long, whatever it is, and it just kind of stays online. So let's see if we can capitalize here. Do a precision shot. I know I probably want to get, I just want to see what this wind angle actually will be. So it will still be a little bit left pointed. So with that being said, a little bit over here is fine. So with over being okay, we're going to do something like that. And a little bit of an overpull. I'm going to go 7 rings straight up. Great ball left. I think I'm fine. I'd rather left than right, keeping it away from the tree edge. Slow down. That should be good. Nice clean look here. Of course, I think even the shorter that you keep it, as long as the trees don't come into play, it straightens out that wind even more. But you don't want to get too cute with it, because you could actually see the time I played it on the front, I actually was adjusting into that tree up there by the green. You don't want to be adjusting into that with a wind that's pointed like this. Thanks, John. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate you guys. We've been maintaining right around 40, 50 guys in here. Appreciate you guys being here and just kind of hanging out, checking some things out. This is an interesting ball. Oh, that's interesting. So let's give this one a go here. I'm worried that I'm gonna try to use this sniper. I think it's gonna be more holeable. If you have room, that's the type of thing that I usually recommend. Would be trying to force this sniper in. So that's what we're gonna try to do. It's kind of like minimal wind effect, minimal ring play. Just makes it just a little bit more holeable, in my opinion. So we'll go up here. I forget what that said. I think it said like 5-4. And of course I'm through the tree. This is bad. Why did the tree have to be in the way? Let's hope this goes in. Nope, too much to the left. So you almost have to flip the camera there or not be as much into the tree as me. I think the ring adjustment was good. If anything, it just wasn't enough wind effect. You could see it really didn't, it seemed to have landed really close to where I initially was setting up in relation to the bunker. So I don't think I underpulled or anything. May have not had the best alignment and pulled dead straight because we couldn't really see. But definitely keep that in mind for that adjustment. I was trying to get maybe just a little bit too cute and try to avoid side spin. But you don't want to be adjusting into those tree branches. So you either got to flip there, set up a little bit earlier, or do what my opponent's doing here, which is just kind of get it just a little bit more to the left, spin it harder. I'm imagining, yeah, that's what I expected he was going to miss. And that's significantly left too. That would have been maybe going in with great ball right. That's, and same with mine. So we both missed considerably to the left. I like, both of us needed a great ball right. And maybe we make it or it burns the right edge. So just got to make a slight tweak with that initial alignment there. Finally getting all those putt rewards up. I guess that's a good thing about missing all these shots, is I'm potentially going to finish that season challenge for putting the balls enough times. I really despise this hole. We are going to play this differently. I'm sick of missing it. I don't really like this wind angle. We had success doing this on the other round on 7. We're going to use up one of the last of my Santas here. As you can see, I'm getting down to 5. I'm not going to practice it. We're just going to kind of go for it. Because I don't like this the slope on this hole. I just want to do something a little bit different. Start to change my method. And of course, the Santa, try to keep the wind down. Try to grab this one. I'm not fond of this one. For those of you who have been following some of these streams that I've been doing here, this is maybe my least favorite of this entire set here, is this hole. So we're going to try something a little bit different. Try to get the wind down. Of course, we're not doing it with a practice, so I'm not expecting much, but I didn't want to waste. I feel like kind of with this hole is it just doesn't funnel very well. So I don't want to waste the practice and then miss it twice. Waste 2 Santas. I only have, what was it, 4? I think I have 4 Santas. So it's like I don't get many opportunities to do this. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing that new putt setup. I think I'm going to excel at it. It reminds me of the old Tiger Woods games. I'm assuming I'm understanding what they're doing. There's going to be like a bead system where you actually have to play the break yourself. I believe that's my interpretation. That's something I did for years anyway. So I'm not threatened by that in any way, if that is the case. So utilizing a lot of my spin, you can kind of see what I'm doing with my aim as well. At least 5 rings. You can see it kind of, I'm even kind of pulling a little bit more north because I'm pulling down into this bunker. So you can see that I kind of have it have my arrow just slightly tilted as well. But let's just see what this looks like. Of course, I'm not expecting much. Cut harder. So very aggressive. No practice. We put it on the lip of the cup. Keep in mind, if you were going to try to do something similar, like I mentioned about that pull angle, especially if you're pulling down into that bunker, it's very close to that. Make sure that you're doing something similar. Now, if you're starting a little bit more north than I am, because of maybe a slightly different wind angle, you might not need to do that as much. So you got to be able to do some iterations. Keep in mind that the reason that I was kind of keeping it a little bit long intentionally is because it's pulling down into that sand and it probably needs a little bit extra length, or you could overpower it, something to that effect. But you need to account for it in some fashion when you pull down to such lower ground. My ring adjustment there was probably 5.3. A little bit hard for me to eyeball there. And of course, it's my first ever attempt with that shot. But keeping the wind down, you can see the great advantages. With one attempt, this first time I've ever played the shot, we're on the edge of the cup. So, you know, that's really one of the biggest things about this game. Of course, when I got these Santa balls, I got them for free. So it's definitely a completely different game model than it was back in that day. So I got a bunch of, I never paid for a globe on this account, never played for a Santa, pumpkins, stuff like that, dead balls. There was opportunity to win them back in the day, in the first couple tournaments. So obviously you can see they shifted gears quite considerably. With that being said, I since coming back, I've been free to play. I've been staying free to play. I don't know if that's going to change. I can definitely say for the short term, it isn't. So we're just going to kind of work through my ball library. Hopefully do some cool things. We're going to try to do some cool things on this one. Maybe I use a globe. Why not? I have enough. So 240 left. Not the best wind, not the worst wind. It's about middle of the road. I think 14's max. I don't know what to do with my spin. Trying to keep this out of that bunker if I can. So I don't want to do too much here. Just a little bit of curl. Keep going. Keep going. I would have liked it a little bit righter than this. I was just trying to keep it out of that bunker, but I kind of wanted to hold that line. You could see, and the reason being, let's say you hold line with that bunker or get very close to it. What's going to happen is you're going to have a much straighter approach wind angle. So more air, you make it that much easier for you to drop the next one. Just would come down to like your perfect ball timing. Even if you're in the rough, I wouldn't necessarily be threatened by that. I still have those accounts, Tommy. I'm just not, I'm not putting the, so if you're paying attention here, this is what, 8 weeks in the making just to get to Expert 3. I'm not doing that with all those accounts. So best case scenario, you guys get the developers to change what they're doing. Like there's absolutely zero reason that I should have to go through all of this to get to Master 1. I don't even know why that like they have not changed this. About like 5 years, you can't And this is just like another reason that it's like, I have mixed feelings just about, being here, because it's like, this is such, like, on the surface, it's such a small level thing that it just defies any logic to be like, oh yeah, we'll just make, all those master players have to go all the way through the process that they already gone through. Jeez, I'm gonna have to rush this one. Very close to max here. Perfect ball. Thought I had the ball guide pointed a little bit more to the left. Of course, I'm doing overplay here. You can't physically see it. I wasn't at max. I was more at mid. Mid here says 8, but I'm considering, when I'm factoring in this shot, I was considering the fact that I'm landing on lower ground. I tried to go about 10 rings. This is 9.6 at mid. So this is more or less what I was doing. But you could see with where I wound up, I would have much rather been where my opponent is here. So even realistically, maybe a berserker ball is even better than what I did. But I would have liked to have been more towards the bunker, because especially getting to that falcon range, you can see it comes in very very controlled. I love the short iron. It doesn't have near the wind effect. And I think that's the reason that a lot of guys like Grizzly, which I never really played over here, is because since the range is so short, it also has reduced wind effect. So it's much less that you need to consider to get the drop, when you don't have to worry about, 3 or 4 rings of grid deflection. Why not, you guys tuned in for some excitement. Maybe I'll just waste another globe here. I kind of hold on to them for the most part, not burn through them. Because I feel like once they're gone, they're gone. Like I'm probably not, spending $99 to get whatever it is, 200 back. Like, but let's see what the wind is. How about that? We'll go from there. I want to do something a little aggressive, a little bit more exciting for you guys, so you're not just watching me hack it up. Let's make eagle on this one, or whatever, birdie. Let's make birdie on this a little bit more exciting. This is definitely a larger wind, so that's exciting. I might be able to just go berserker. I'd much rather go berserker. My goal here, I'm going to do something really interesting, I feel. Almost, I'm thinking to the effect of like hook slice. Because what I want to do is, instead of what I might not need hook slice, but I might. My goal is, instead of what he's doing, is to get it to a straight wind arrow. So his pitch there is going to be 1030. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to overdo it excessively to the right. And maybe there's even out of bounds over there. I really don't know. I guess we'll find out. But the goal of mine is to get over here. Even if it's in the rough, I don't care. So even overdoing this, I'm not going to complain if I do. So that's no movement. This is 10, 20, at least 5 more on top of this. But we got it in the fairway anyway, so it worked. So probably the most exciting shot that I probably done since I've really just kind of hacked it up. You know, we just kind of dialed up a pretty cool little shot there, and we're gonna have a really straight arrow. Maybe it's even Falcon there. And if it is, you know, we got a really good look at making this one. So, but that's the main reason that I did what I did versus what you see my opponent doing is because this is like you don't want to play 10-30 wins really ever. maybe with Nirvana, maybe with Falcon. Otherwise, it's a very tough win to play. I'm going to go at least 11.5. You can see a slight offset too. I'm thinking something along the lines of this, 11.5 or so. Maybe even more. So what's that, 11.8? I'm fine with that. Let's just see what it looks like, assuming I get it off. Don't tell me it's stopping. I kept the ball guide too short. If it wasn't max club, I would have never kept it that short, but it was absolute max everything. I was really hoping it was going to run out just a little bit more topspin. I think it didn't matter. I don't think I factored in enough offset. I definitely feel like it was drifting a little bit left on me. So maybe just a little bit more, but it gives you some idea of what, you know, maybe I'm wrong and maybe that was actually the line because when I get this grid, it's kind of right on line. But I feel like it was going to miss left edge, which means I should have just put it just a little bit more to the right. But you can see we just needed to be, the ring adjustment, probably no issues with the ring adjustment. So that wasn't the issue. It was mostly I just needed that ball guide up a little bit more. And of course, the biggest reason that I like that versus putting it through the hole is because the ball guide's going to change so much. It's hard to put it through the hole in that situation. Especially in a large wind like that, it's just going to stretch out so much. You have to play so much overplay or so much 11.59 or whatever that it's just going to, it's just as easy to just play offset and play it short and master how much you need to play it short. Hole 16. This is my Santa ball win from the other day. Does anybody remember what I did? I think I know. I think we might just do it. I think I know what I did the other day. For some reason, I just have this mental recap of a few days ago. I know the exact adjustment I did. So we're just going to go in, save my practice token. It's very close to 16 the other day. Very, very identical for whatever reason. I don't think I used elevation. That's the only thing I can't remember. So hopefully I remember right here. We're going to hopefully grab this one. This is definitely what I would say, probably one of the easier holes to get. The fact that I'm even close on this pretty much every time, just, you know, I've played it just as much as, you know, most of you guys, maybe even a little bit less because I'm not doing multiple accounts or anything. So I played this a total of whatever it is, 5 times now. And I've made it a couple times and should have made it 3 times. So Something offset like that. This is a little bit larger wind than I had the other day, though. Maybe I'm going to come in a little tight, and I think use mid number here. I think it's pretty spot on. So 5-3 if we can. Boom, we made a shot. So it took 16 holes. Like I was mentioning, similar wind to the one that I had played the other day. So, and obviously I think the adjustment that I did the other day, I do recap and remember because I'm almost sure to a T that's exactly how I played it the other day. The same mid number, spot up, just a little bit offset to the right because for whatever reason the mid number just rolls out left. Like it's almost like it's too much of an adjustment. Like you're under adjusting slightly, but you can see how close I'm landing to the bunker there. You kind of need it because if you do less, you might land in the sand there. You almost need maybe just one click of overpower too. I'm just the smallest. If anything, that might have stopped on the front lip on me. It was close. So we finally made a shot. This is almost the same round we did. Not the same way, but it's like the same round that I had the other day. I kind of like that last Thor hammer that I did, so I might do that again, actually. Let's see if we can't get to the 30 number, though. I wanted to get to the 30 number the other day. Wasn't quite able to do it. I really hate this hole, so I could see this one screwing me over. But let's try to get it. Thanks, guys. At least we did some cool stuff here on the back. Even though I might not have played the greatest or made a bunch of shots, we did some cool things. Maybe some things that you probably aren't seeing on a lot of other guides. So just being able to kind of just wing it and do some pretty cool stuff, at least it's worth it. At least you guys can get something out of this. I'm going to play it close to how I did it the other day. I think this is a different wind angle. I'll try to go 12 rings here. I'm going to play it just slightly different. I wasn't necessarily thrilled with the way that I did it the other day. So I'm going to try to force this ball into this tree a little bit better than I did last time. That's kind of one of those things that I wanted to see. It hits the branches. I wanted to see if it just kind of knocks it down or if it goes through. And this time I played it much better. As you can see, it just kind of rolls through too much. So probably just going to come down to perfect ball, unfortunately. Maybe I can find a spot back there where you just get it. I do kind of like this though too. Playing it over here to the right intentionally. I think the other day that we did this in the opener, I definitely think that just being over here, way over here, was like an easy wind direction to hold out. So if you like accidentally miss too much to the right, it's still very easy to hold it out. If you do kick off the right like I did the other day, no big deal. Let's see what we can do with this slope back here. it doesn't look anything like what I thought. I was hoping that there would be some tolerance for a great ball, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Maybe. Maybe. Who knows? You might be able to great ball this. Nevertheless, we made it anyway. Perfect ball. You can definitely see the method for setup there, and the way that I tested all those spots, they were all running pretty true. So if you do find yourself back there for whatever reason, not saying the shot that I did there even makes any sense, whatever. I just wanted to do it more than anything just to kind of see what it does. What I'd like to have it do is just, especially since I don't have, some of these balls that these other guys, how they're rolling it down with these extra topspin boosts. It's like you have to get a little creative in other ways. Otherwise, you're pitching from short of the hole every time. Let's see if we can make this one here, finish on the nice 30 round number. It's not going to be easy. This is probably the hardest time that I've played it. The second wind's going to be straight side. Thanks, Needle Lag. We're on 18 here, so coming to the conclusion. If you guys don't mind, you might want to replay some of the back nine. If you didn't, we did some cool original things. I'm sure not a lot of guys playing any of the shots, so you're kind of seeing it here. I'm assuming most of the stuff that I'm doing is kind of a little off the wall, creative, somewhat on this back nine. Because I know from what I've seen, a lot of guys, so there's, I guess, some content creators, they're creating guides and whatnot, and I feel when I play the replays, a lot of guys play these shots very similar to they're all playing the same way. So it's like, you could tell they're either using other streamers or their clan, but they're all playing very similar. Not in this one. I hope I did the sniper here. That's the only thing I'm questioning. I almost, if I would have had more time, I was going back to look to see if I had the sniper. But we're playing this one with a lot more control. It's unfortunately I didn't do this on the front, because I think if I was here, there was at least 40-50% chance I was going to make it if I would have been there on 9. I definitely feel like I was going to give myself a really good chance. This one, I'm not nearly as confident. I would give myself 10% to make this, 20%, a much smaller number. I've never even played this wind on this hole, so we're gonna, I'm gonna work through it my same process. I think we're gonna be close, but it's a difference of being close versus actually making it is a different story. 6-8. I don't use really any elevation here. We're down towards min, so I'm going to play less wind effect because of that. Of course, I also want to find a nice spot where it's not doing anything crazy. Less wind effect, so you'll see I'm maybe offset a grid here. Almost mid number here. 6-2 straight up, or just a hair less. So we catch great ball. I'm assuming it's right. We know that was lip out or maybe coming through too hot. A perfect ball there was all over that pin. And I feel like sometimes when your adjustments are really close, you do kind of, whatever that percentage factor is, I do feel like that forced grate kind of happens a little bit more when it just kind of feels like that one was forced. My timing was really good. I know, if I was early, it's like so marginal. There's time that I know, yep, I jumped the gun, but I can definitively say on that, like, I don't think so. So it just feels like, it just kind of gave me that. It was coming in a little bit hot, so you never know. Maybe you catch the lip anyway, and it just kind of 360s the cup or something. But I know with perfect ball there, that was going to be really close. But nevertheless, same as before. Opening weekend round 29s. We picked it up a little bit on this side. What was it? 15, 14. We made hole 7 on this side, 16. That was our big one. But we gave it some really good runs. Everything was close. Everything on this back 9 was potentially droppable. So we did, put together something. Of course, it says first place. Absolutely no way I'm even going to be close to first place. Just pretty much nobody playing their rounds yet. I would imagine, I'm hoping to shoot top 50 would be nice. Let's look at the rewards. Yeah, I'd rather not start rolling into these Titans, if at all possible. Get back the Berserkers we shot today. Would be nice. So let's hope for that. Fingers crossed. Like I mentioned, we will be rolling into Master next week. So hopefully we can put together some stuff there. And that's kind of where you see 49 practice tokens. That's kind of where I wanted to put my emphasis. I've never had those luminaries. I've never had these Kingslayers. This is kind of like first time for me experiencing those. So I'm kind of saving my opportunity to utilize those practice tokens when I'm much closer to the rewards that I'm looking for. So I recommend a similar strategy. But if you're happy with the reward tier you're at, then by all means, go for that round. Try to put up that big score. So best of luck, guys. Thanks for showing up here. Just kind of Saturday afternoon. Like I mentioned, one of the main reasons I did pop in here today, I almost absolutely will not be streaming anything next week at all. So even the 9-hole cup, I think I'll play it. But I highly doubt that. I know Thursday and Friday I'm kind of locked up. So going to be hard for me to do some content next week at all. So best place that you'll catch me is the following week probably. So I wanted to pop on here, just give you guys some cool shots to follow. Thanks for showing up, everybody, and just hanging out for a little bit. Best of luck out there in your tournament rounds, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.